In this episode, Kia's new electric three-row SUV, power figures for the new Integra Type S, and Dodge's menacing Demon 170. Welcome to episode 191 of the We Are Auto Show. What's up, Derek?
Mr. Michael Rao, what has been new with you lately?
Working a whole bunch. Staying busy, and I have a pathetic excuse for a mustache.
Oh, what might that be?
What's on my upper lip right now?
Okay.
Looks like a dead caterpillar.
Are you going to grow it out?
I don't know. I just got wild hair.
You just decided to not shave that bit.
I did.
Okay.
I think I said, I'm going to try to grow a glorious mustache.
It's not November, but...
It's Mustache March.
Is that a thing?
It is.
Really?
It's not as big as Movember, because No Shave November / Movember is supposed to support the research for men's prostate cancer things.
A good cause.
Yes, this is just because I'm an idiot, frankly.
Okay. I kind of like it. You should stick with it.
I think I might. I'm actually not hating it. So
There'll be a moment where it's time to go, but not yet.
Never. All right, let's move into some news, shall we?
Sure.
All right, let's get into some electric news, which I don't care about, but we're going to talk about anyway. It is about a new electric Kia, the EV9. It is their new electric SUV. Some pictures have been revealed prior to its official debut. But this new EV9, this is their electric SUV, which is touting to be the first real, proper, mainstream three-row SUV. EV SUV, pardon me.
Right. They have the EV6 right now?
Not 3 rows.
Okay.
That's just like a hot hatch crossover-y thing.
Gotcha. Do they have a 5 as well?
I think they do, yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, it's a concept. Okay.
It's a thing. But the EV9, that is what's coming next. It's big.
It is big.
It's 3-row SUV big.
Okay, this market is really good.
This is going to... You know what? Before I make my a statement and prediction, we'll come back to if it's going to crush or not.
Okay, I'm just saying that the market size that this SUV is going toward, right? The number of people that could possibly buy this car, and it would be practical to buy for, is massive.
Yeah, I was going to say the EV9 is going to kill it. It's going to crush. It is going to destroy the competition.
Okay, tell me why.
Because it's the first and best currently.
Okay.
Kia has not released any technical specs yet in terms of powertrain, like battery range and capacity and battery pack size and things like that. That is supposed to be coming when it does have its formal debut in April, so soon. But it is technically more spacious than the Kia Telluride already.
Okay.
So it's going to crush in that regard because the people that own the Kia Telluride are usually suburban housewives, right? No dig there. That's just who typically buys them. Great. It's more spacious than the Telluride. It's 3 rows. And it's pretty well I think it's actually going to be, now it's not official, but it's going to be the cheapest 3-row EV SUV on the market.
Okay.
There's no official price listed yet, but it's expected to be in the $50,000 to $70,000 range based upon base to hot spec, right?
We're talking about the EV9. I quickly looked up the EV6, and it does have between 206 to 310 miles of range, depending on the trim that you get, which is very good. And I think that it's 56 to 77 kilowatt hour battery. So those are all comparable to the Teslas of the world. That's good.
Yes, so when they put out a picture, a prototype picture from a long time ago, there was a display in the dash that had a hint at a mileage reading. So it's not an official reading yet, but it hinted at about 300 miles of range.
That's the sweet spot right now.
For a 3-row mommy missile, that is going to be the ticket. If it can be 300 to 350 miles of range, this will mop the floor with every other EV on the market.
Right.
I think even the non-SUV EVs.
Mm-hmm.
This will kill. It'll absolutely kill. It's supposed to compete with your Rivian R1S, not the T, but the S, right? The Tesla Model X, and those are the only other like proper 3-row EV SUVs.
Right, the Model Y is kind of cramped.
The Model Y, you can option with a 3rd row, but I wouldn't really call it a seat. It's more like a booster.
Yep.
Right? So of the actual proper 3-row SUVs, you've got the Rivian R1S and the Tesla Model X. It's going to kill it. I think this looks better than both of them, too.
Yeah, I would actually agree.
Yeah,
I think it does look sharp.
The Rivian comes in at about $80,000. The Model X comes in close to $100,000.
Yeah, it's pricey.
And if this is in that $50,000 to $70,000 mark, goodbye Rivian, goodbye Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two, this will kill it.
Yep. If you're looking for the full 6 seats.
And the interior looks like a car. It doesn't look like the Tesla interior. It to me is the easier transition for the mom going from a Kia Telluride to the Kia EV9, because they're not going from a Telluride to a Tesla Model X where the interior you're getting, you're like, what is this even? Like, This is not really a car. Whereas you go from the Telluride to this, and it still kind of looks car-ish inside.
Mm-hmm. No, I like this a lot. I think the interior looks sharp. I think the exterior looks very good as well. If they can get the range numbers that are so-called leaked, then yeah, they will be talking. If the price and the range numbers come in what to be expected, then yes, this will be a fantastic vehicle. And Kia, as of late, has been doing a really good job with their vehicles too. So,
again, we can thank, based upon the rumor, the old designer from BMW that went over. Remember?
Right, for the exterior.
Yeah.
There's more than just that, but yes.
No, the only thing that matters is the look.
No.
The look and the horsepower. That's all that matters.
Yes. It will probably have a decent horsepower number, considering it's an EV. But yeah.
Oh, it will, for sure. But yes, look, it's the EV9. I don't like EVs, but this one I can actually get behind.
I'm super glad to see this. 2024 is when. Well, it'll be this year, right? If it's a 2024 model.
I think it's technically 2024 model, yeah.
Yeah, so it should be coming out maybe late this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be the 3-row SUV that mops the floor with all other EV 3-row SUVs, and dare I say, takes some of the market share from the ICE 3-row SUVs into this.
I could see that happening. If
it's that price and that amount of range, yeah, this is gonna kill.
Right. The only way they mess this up is really low range or $100K.
Yeah, if this thing comes in over $80,000, it's too much.
Yep.
This has to be close to that $50,000 to $60,000 mark. It is money for this. This perfect for that's what the market wants
right now. Yes.
A $50,000 to $60,000 EV 3-row SUV. That is this.
Yep. Interesting that you can spin the seats to be a.
Yeah, it looks like the
facing.
second row are captain's chairs, so they can swivel and pivot. That's makes
kind of interesting.
For, you know what, though? For families, that's freaking badass.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
Yep. No, this is super cool. The price will dictate how this vehicle goes, though. Like we said, if they overprice it, which the price will be very deterministic based on how the manufacturing is going for EVs in them, because in a manufacturer like this, you benefit from the economies of scale. So they're already making the EV6. They're going to transition over to the EV9, which in theory will help the economies of scale. But will it be enough to get it to that magical 50, 60, 65K mark?
We'll see.
Yep.
I think it will. I think they can pull it off.
I hope so. Neat.
Yeah, not a bad thing. Not a great thing because it's an electric vehicle, and I just wish they'd stop doing them. But the dinosaur is coming out here.
Yes, it is.
Let's transition into a different car. Let's talk about an Acura.
Okay.
There's not a lot as of now to talk about with it, but there are some official power numbers for the new Integra Type R.
Oh.
Pardon me, Type S. The Type R is the Civic.
Right.
There's too many types with Honda and Acura. Which type are we using? We're using Type S. Which is funny because the original Integra was a Type R. Yes, so the 2024 Acura Integra Type S, they have released some power numbers. And it has been confirmed that it will be much, much more powerful than the Civic Type R.
Perfect, as it should be.
You ready for how much more horsepower?
Uh-oh.
5.
Oh, no. No. 5? Then the Civic? Really?
The Civic Type R is like 315 horsepower, but the Acura Integra Type S is a whopping 320. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let me pose you the question. Do you need more than 320 horsepower in this car?
Yes.
Do you?
No.
Do you actually?
No.
I don't think so.
Realistically, you need 285.
Yes.
300 plus is just for fun.
The Civic needs probably nowhere near that.
It's the same car.
Right.
It's the same car, but you swap out a Honda badge for an Acura badge and get rid of a big wing. Et voila. It's literally the same car.
What's the point of buying it?
There's not.
Okay. Well, we came to that conclusion fast.
You would like an honest answer. There's not.
Okay.
A couple things just to button this up here. It does have the same amount of torques, 310 pound-feet of torque. You're going to have a wider body than the regular Integra, which it needs because the regular Integra looks too tall and narrow. It just needs some hips to it. You'll have different rear spoiler. You'll have the triple exhaust. You'll have it just looks much more angry and aggressive than the standard base car, which I think is good because the standard base car looks awful. Apparently they did release a sound clip of the new Type S exhaust, which it's going to sound like a 4-banger. Great.
Right.
I will say, just like the Civic Type R, the Integra Type S is available only in a 6-speed manual.
Good. So
just like the Type R. Yep.
Right. Okay.
Good. Now, one big benefit here. Limited slip diff is standard. You get an LSD as standard. That's good stuff.
That is good stuff.
Because in a front-wheel drive car like that, the diff matters.
I was going to say, this is front-wheel drive, right?
Yeah. The diff matters, especially in a front-wheel drive car.
Should they have made this rear?
No, God, no. That's so not correct for an Integra. What was the whole point of an Acura Integra Type R? Do you know what it was touted as?
What?
The original Integra Type R was actually noted as the best handling front-wheel drive car ever produced.
That's what it was touted as?
Yes. That's why the Integra Type R was such a cool little pocket rocket. It wasn't because it was the fastest thing in the world. It was according to a bunch of different sources, the original Integra Type R was known as the world's best handling front-wheel drive car.
I did not know that.
It was light. It was nimble. It was high revving. It was. I still, to this day, want an original Type R.
Okay, then yeah, rear-wheel drive's out of the equation here.
It's stupid.
But if we're only 5 horsepower over the Civic, how do we differentiate this car from the Civic? Sure, it has an Acura badge. I would assume
that is the way you differentiate.
No, you need more than that. Okay,
It doesn't have a wing.
It had a wing, didn't
It's
it?
a spoiler, not a wing.
Okay, you're
Don't let me get into the pedantics of spoilers and wings.
Okay. I think that you have to differentiate this car either in the interior or with like some crazy exterior looks, but I don't even think they're going to pull that off. Just looking at the camo here, I think it's got to be interior.
It's going to be interior. That's going to be the biggest benefit here. Will it be a fun car? No doubt.
Yeah.
The Civic Type R, I drove the previous generation Type R. It is a fun car. Won't dispute that. This current Civic Type R does 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. How much that 5 horsepower is going to help that? 4.87 seconds.
A diff?
3 thousandths of a second or something like that.
Not a lot.
Not
a lot.
But either way, that's the new Type R.
Okay.
Type S. Damn it. I do that. I wish they would have just called it the Type R, because the original Integra was a Type R. Ugh.
5 extra horsepower, which was a little more than that. But
yes, I totally agree. But now let's move on to something that is much more horsepower.
Okay.
Many more horsepowers. As a matter of fact, all of the horsepowers.
What might that be?
It's a Dodge.
A Dodge?
A Dodge. It is the new Dodge Challenger SRT Demon 170.
What is that?
Well, it is a car that will be essentially the fastest production car ever made.
Oh, okay.
So it is the last call of the last calls, last call ICE internal combustion engine muscle car.
This is a drag racing car.
Wheelie.
This is a drag racing car.
That is exactly what it is.
Perfect.
It's exactly what it is. And I'm going to steal a quote from the article here. The first line in the article is, I quote, and this is from Motor Trend here. The Hellcat era is ending the same way it began back in 2015, with an obscene amount of horsepower, a devil-may-care attitude, and almost complete indifference towards handling. I love that so much.
All right.
You know your target market perfectly.
This is a drag racing car. It's only a drag racing car, but it's really good at it.
It is street legal.
Okay.
Just.
It's only a drag racing car.
It is only a drag racing car with number plates.
And it's really good at it.
It's actually arguably the best at it in the world.
Awesome. Okay. 1,025 horsepower.
Oh my God!
Holy moly.
Out of the same 6.2 liter supercharged V8.
Oh. Just a grand.
945 pound-feet of torque.
That's amazing.
I am so in love with this.
Does it have 0 to 60s in quarter mile times?
It does.
Okay.
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
So let me give you a little bit of backstory here.
Mm-hmm.
Those horsepower and torque numbers, those are quoted based upon the car running on E85. So they've designed this car to run E85. You have less horsepower running on 93 than you do E85. Okay. The Dodge Mopar have gone full corn-fed E85 mad.
Wow.
Because do you know where they get the 170 in the name for? The Demon 170. You know where they get the 170 for?
Where?
They get the 170 from E85 being 85% alcohol or 170 proof.
Right. The proof. Okay.
It's a 170 proof car, and that is everywhere. They've put on it alcohol injected into the hood scoop and into the engine block, and even like the eye, like the eye scoop thing, is painted yellow as a nod to the E85 being corn.
Dang, that's cool.
This is amazing.
Yeah,
with this, you also get, when you buy it, you get a bar set that includes whiskey stones and a decanter.
Whoa.
For your corn liquor drink.
They really know their audience.
This is so goddamn amazing.
It's so perfect for them.
I am not a drag racing guy, but I want one.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It's 1,000 horsepower stock.
1,025 horsepower. Now,
jeez.
You asked about 0 to 60 times and quarter mile times.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready? What would you like first, 0 to 60 or quarter mile?
0 to 60.
It's a very small number.
I imagine.
1.66 second.
Jeez.
Almost a 1.5 second 0 to 60 time.
I'm sure that's on a prep track.
It is, and that I'm going to get to that in a second. Quarter mile, 8.91.
It's an 8? Oh.
This is from the factory. An easily sub 2 second 0 to 60 and sub 9 second quarter mile. Oh my God.
I'm not huge into drag racing, but I believe if you run sub 10 seconds, you need a parachute at the track.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I did put a note here. under 9 seconds. NHRA have revised that rule because every car is under 10 seconds nowadays. That's a performance car, it seems like.
Okay.
But under 9-second quarter mile times, you are required, if you are running an NHRA sanctioned event, so if it's just a track day, you don't need shit. But if it's an NHRA sanctioned event, you are required under 9 seconds to have a roll cage and a parachute.
Wow. This is an 8-second car stock. So if you brought it to a competition, you need to put a roll cage in it, and you need to put a parachute on it. That's ridiculous. And that's stock on E85. Just pump gas.
I love this so much. I love this so much.
Holy moly.
God. So you did mention prep track, of course. The times that have been quoted, that is specifically on a prep track with perfect conditions, right? Mm-hmm. Density, altitude, all that kind of stuff. So you're not just going to just go down your neighborhood street and rip a 1.66 second 0 to 60. That's not going to happen. You'll be probably 2.3 seconds or so? Somewhere there.
Something like that.
But this car doesn't have the crazy robotics that the Porsche Turbo S has.
Okay.
Because the Porsche Turbo S was always known as like the hardest launching car, right? And that's because it's got all these impressive launch control things happening.
And it's all-wheel drive, right?
Yes. This is not.
No, this is a big fat rear tire.
Oh, yeah.
And does it have any trickery?
A little bit. Not a whole lot. So what they've done is engineers in Dodge, they have given you a few tools to launch your car. They have reworked a transmission brake launch procedure that does allow you to absolutely just bury your foot deep into the loud pedal while you're in the starting box, rather than what you used to have to do was kind of feather it a bit to keep the revs in a perfect sweet spot.
Okay.
So they've done away with the feathering and they want you to go for the more grab it by the scruff of the neck and just plant your foot and hold on for dear life approach.
Right, and that's how when you have a full-on drag car, that's what you're full throttle. You're sitting there on the button. They have a button on the steering wheel.
It's either a button or a trans brake.
Right, a trans brake on the gear lever. So it's basically they built a trans brake into this.
Yeah, and you just like going, boom.
Yep, and you're
gone. If you do get a lot of tire spin on launch, they do have in the infotainment system where you can actually dial in a custom torque curve.
Ooh, okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you can pretty much tune the car.
Yes, pretty much, yeah.
To a certain extent.
Yeah, it allows you to tune the torque curve for the first 1.6 seconds of subsequent runs, which, if it's a sub 9 second run, that's a long part of the run.
That's the part that matters,
yeah. This is just unbelievable. And if you're still really breaking the wheels loose during gear changes, you can even soften the shifts.
Wow.
What a thing.
They actually have a way for you to basically tune the car on the fly as you're going, which is amazing.
This is amazing. Now, one thing you'll notice is it has thinner tires in the front, but they're not pizza cutters.
No.
Right? So they're actual tires you can, drive to places with. What you also notice is, do you see how the front is not wide-bodied, but the rear is?
Yes.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Why's that?
Aerodynamics and weight savings, of course.
You're right. Does the normal one have the wide body on the front?
Mm-hmm. Well, the new Demon does, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
No, this thing looks like an absolute monster. This thing looks awesome.
It's unbelievable. It weighs roughly, 4,200 pounds, but that's irrelevant.
Oh, yeah.
Weight is totally irrelevant in this thing.
With 1,000 horsepower, weight doesn't matter.
Exactly. You could weigh as much as a moon, give it 1,000 horsepower, and it's going to launch into the solar system.
Yeah.
Yes. You're going to restart the Earth with the amount of horsepower and torque with this thing. It's amazing. Now, there is no official number on how many of them will be built yet. Speculations are hoping over the 2,000 of them a mark, but we'll see. No idea. Okay. Are you ready for the price?
I don't know if I am or not. This is not going to be cheap.
Estimate it. Give me a guess.
What's the current?
You know what? Let me double check. I don't remember the current price.
Okay. I'm going to have to guess. Man, this is a big difference from the current car, though. So, what's the current?
The current is just under like $100,000 or so.
All right, I'm going to guess 125.
$100,361. Not even 110.
What?
Yeah. This is only a $100,000 car.
And the new one's going for like around 100K?
Just under.
It's no different?
8590.
Whoa. There's no way they can only produce 2,000 of these. These will be bought up so quickly, it will be unbelievable.
You know what? I'm just going to double check my figures here.
They will sell out instantaneously if the price is correct.
Let's just see here.
Huh.
Let's just see here.
Regardless, I think that the drag racing community itself would be big enough and they would eat up all of those.
So the current SRT jailbreak is the SRT Superstock is like 89 grand.
So it's like 10 grand more to get all this?
I love it so much.
Wow. For 100 grand, that is a deal, dude.
This is this deal of the century.
Yeah.
You have over 100 or over 1,000 horsepower for 100 grand.
They need to make like 50,000, 100,000 of these. They don't need to make like 2,000. They would sell them all. They would sell 100,000 of these.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm looking at MSRPs for current challengers. SRT Superstock, 80 pretty well 9. The SRT Jailbreak, 80 pretty well 7. The Hellcat Red Eye Wide Body, 86.
With dealer markup, there'll be a little more, obviously. But still, it's like a sub $110,000 8-second race car stock on E85.
I'm not a Dodge guy. I'm not. I'm a Ford guy. If I'm going American, Ford's my brand. But oh my God, I love this so much.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 horsepower, 945 torques for 100 grand. That is the bargain of the century.
It's $1 a horsepower.
Pretty well.
Wow.
It's amazing.
Or no, it'd be $100.
$10, well, $10 or whatever it is. Yes, whatever the math checks out.
Regardless.
But it's $100,000 for over 1,000 horsepower. When have you ever been able to buy over 1,000 horsepower for barely 100 grand? The Tesla Plaid was like 130.
Yeah, I think there's still more. And I
There's
think those
still
are
more.
only running,
Even with the price reduction, they're still like 120.
I think they're only 9-second cars too. They're not even 8-second cars.
No.
That's crazy. That is crazy. And you know that the community of drag racing will flash a tune in this, and it'll be going 7s in no time. In no time.
You literally just need a couple of drunk rednecks in Florida, and you will literally have the fastest thing a drag strip has ever seen, with the exception of a Top Fuel dragster.
Yeah, you got to get into like full NHRA Top Fuel stuff.
What?
Wow.
This is just amazing.
A street legal 8-second car for 100K. Jeez.
It's so
awesome.
cool. I'm just so stoked. And I love the nods to E85 everywhere.
Yeah.
I love those little touches. Look at the back tires wrinkling and rippling through the launch. Your car from the factory does a wheelie. I want a car that can do a wheelie from the factory.
I think you need this.
I do.
I think you do.
I do. Look at that.
Yeah.
Look at the decanter set. It's got a wheeling, burning outing Demon 170 on it. Even the ice cubes are skulls.
I mean, they know their market. They know their market really, really well. It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
I hate Dodge Challengers, but I love this car.
You'll see these at the drag strip for the next 20 years.
Good.
Yep.
I want to see one, and I want to hear it, and I want to just watch it launch itself into oblivion on the rear two wheels doing a wheelie the whole way down.
Please, Dodge, make at least 10,000 of these. At least 10,000.
They won't, but I want them to.
Please.
Yeah. Oh, so that's the Dodge Challenger Demon 170. Oh, God, I love it so much.
That's cool.
Let us know what you think about the Demon 170. If you're watching on YouTube, drop a comment on the video. Let us know, what do you think about the Demon 170? How many do you think they should make? I'm curious there. If you're listening on audio, Send us that thought via social. Facebook is We Are Auto. Instagram is We Are Auto _. YouTube is We Are Auto. And our website is weareauto.io. So that's going to wrap us up for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.